3. I'm just rolling through some of the larger cells that are impacting Australia today, like this one here approaching the Gympie corridor. I'll be interested to see what effect the Chembombs have on these storms as they're creeping now in toward these towns along the way here. This one is rotating. This one is dropping some dangerous stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And maybe we can catch a shot of it here on the cam. No, it's too dark. The darkness. And also out on the west coast, you have some rather large cells coming to Chris. Get over there. See right here near Broome. These ones are tracking toward the coast. And there's also a very dangerous line. And so you will use your measures, awareness, readiness, and knowledge. And being aware and knowledgeable are two different things. Believe me, you could be aware of a hazard, but you might not be knowledgeable about what to do when it happens. So, seek the knowledge. What type of knowledge? Hey, because somebody asked that. If you have a flash flood, let's say, do you know where it normally runs in your area? Right, let's say here in Broome. Where does this water go when it impacts this airport? Where is the safest place to go if there was a flash flood? Is it safer to just ride it out because it never gets that deep, right? These type things you need to know. And only local information will provide you that. You can't expect me to know that. Are you kidding? Wow. That would be a tremendous amount of knowledge to have, or a very well-traveled person. Now, I do know the lay of the land in a lot of places in Australia that I visited, so it does give me a bit of knowledge on that. But I know when I see a lot of tributaries like this, and you get a lot of big falls like this, it's going to run toward the coast that way. And so all this right now is swelling the streams big time. The accumulations over the next 24 hours are going to be rather high. Now, how can you go from less to more? So I ain't buying that. So they say that where those storms are right now, there's no accumulation. So what are they going to do now? They're not too high, but it's just going to be locally heavy, as I call it. Hey, with the concentration seeming to be, hey, old Newman over here. Hello, Newman. How you doing? Here in your car, they're flooding out all the roads. There's a great place for the train to turn around. It's a valuable stop. It'd be a great place for a power station, wouldn't it? Over here on Marble Road. Well, it's going to be the wet road, that's for sure. Liquid marbles. And kind of got that fallopian look on it. Yeah, but anyways, I digress. Is it actually still running? Well, we're 3 minutes and 1 second in, and we are running. Okay, well, that is usually a good sign. It says the unexpected show. So, let's go to the main corridor of action today. Is two spots, Esperance area and the trough here as as the storm moves and tracks inland and up the coast. Expect the wetnesses to get even wetter and wetter and wetter and wetter and wetter until you have a whole lot of wetness going on. Yep. Told you so, the totals were gonna grow. Growing. Hey, Tamworth, how you doing? Whoa, that's a big cell looking in the distance there. Look at the mushroom top on that. Trailing in the distance, this is the airport. Let's see what we got here. Big chemtrail right here, streamering off. You square edge to that, eh? That you do have some dangerous cells, like a piece of dirt on the lens, right here. I'm always eyeballing the planes. I like to see what's out here. That was facing south, obviously, over at Tamworth. Let's look at the other one. Have a look. Well, a lot of dust in the air. And we got a nice alignment here with the moon. That's very pretty. Hey, again, they need to wipe the lens off here. Who knows what's going on underneath the cover? Could be like Moonraker going on. But yes, as to me, is not the most beautiful sunset in the world. I do like seeing color. Don't you? Don't you like colors, or do you like your world to be all black and white? Yeah, everything is just black and white sometimes when it comes to knowing that geoengineering is going on, and it doesn't take too much of a genius to notice that the coast road seems to be catching an awful lot of inundations directly over the top of it this year. Bryce's knob, Edward's knob, and over underneath this whole thing is a whole bunch of knobs. You had a bunch of knobs going along with things, doing these things to people, doing it to the reef, doing it to you in Gladstone. How you doing? Turkey Beach. I'd like to go to Turkey Beach and have a sandwich. Yeah, obviously a turkey sandwich. The club. The club sandwich is what they're eating, and we're the ones fucking bringing it to them. We gotta stop. Maybe they want a new Turkey Beach road. I don't know. There's not much of a passage through here where it is fairly flat. Little rises here and there. Lots of places. You see that sign right there? Why do I get upset when I see Chembombs over here? Because this is the Great Barrier Reef. This is it. This is all you get. This is right here. In the Cairns to Mackay corridor. Right here. A whole lot of storm goes on. Fizzies off the coast here. Getting any closer? Have a look at this bomb here. Boom, bada boom, 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 boom. I'm just a bomb, can't be only a bomb. And I'm choking everything under it. And the fallout it thickens while air is getting sickened. Look at this. This is an absolute shitstorm mess out here over the Coral Sea. See it? See the sea? See them taxifying the sea? See? See? The Holy Sea? See it yet? White Pope, Black Pope, blue hat, white hat. It's a whole fucking bunch of hats. A twat hat. Meanwhile, the X marks the spot of where a Chembomb deployment is going on. Unremarked about in the news. Not telling you, hey, we've chemically attacked the sky and its fallout is coming your way. And in case you're allergic to any firework ingredients, you might want to stay indoors. You know, do you ever get that kind of warning? Everybody always talk about transparency and safety. Meanwhile, this the George Thorogood Goomba Das place next to counting the moolah of St. George has been toxified by the toxiflyers. What a fucking shame. Frying much down here at that radar? Bzzzt. The weight coming out of it. Look at these streamers. Trapezium in your sky at a gone with the windy. Not quite too soon go the chemtrail ingredients over my forest, and as the storms are being planned to walk up your coast, being forced along this line of VMF out here off your coast, there's nowhere else for it to go but creep right on up through here. So it creeps, yeah, when the booming, cause they're so fucking low, and they are the down low. And I'll tell you the down low right now. The colors on were being purposely altered, purposely sick, and purposely made permanent customers of the pharmaceutical industry that's so also invested in by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And what is their foundation based upon? It's based upon the servitude of your wallet. It's based upon your back. And all you have to do is say, hey, I have a natural immune system that I will nurture with things from Mother Nature. I'm tired of these things in the sky put here by this motherfucker. And it's time for this motherfucker to get some justice. And well, say Contra one more time, motherfuckers. I'll be a little Pulp Fiction on your ass. This is as dirty as Sanchez sky as you could make. It is toxified with microwaves. It's toxified with seawater that might have algae and all sorts in it, undisclosed to you. You might be breathing that. Who knows, that green shit you're coughing up might be a fucking grow into a full-fledged algae. Have tendrils of kelp coming out your mouth. Who knows where this is going to go? Because it's not been studied, and it's not seen. And when you bend that paper clip, sometimes some really nasty things fall out of the files, don't they? And while this earth has been defiled long enough, far too long, Look at this shit here going on to New Zealand right now. The splitting of the flow. This comes down here, and here's where all your the water coming in hems up. You have some very heavy falls along these lines here over the next week. Yeah, it ain't over anytime soon. Why? Because we haven't said no to the Paris agreements yet. See, on the 24th, these on any given week would be a lot of water to get. Well, this is just what's coming today. From the nothing to the something, whammo. And then overnight it doesn't stop. And it doesn't stop until you have an inundation of water. And you'll get a break for a little bit and then whammoed again. Look at this tendril coming your way. The whole thing's going to be swept like a wiper arm, smack this country. And it saddens me, knowing in advance that this is going to occur. Knowing in advance that once again the thumb of the mitten of New Zealand here is about to cop 15 centimeters of freaking rain again. And are you being warned in the Wakatani region about any of that? I don't know. I don't live there. And I wouldn't watch the news anyhow because they're so dang inaccurate and so biased toward you always wanting to be buying something or doing something they're telling you to do. And then telling you, oops, we got it wrong later on. Believe me, the lady sitting at the news desk probably also has the same medical degree as Bill Gates too, just like I do. But not the same wallet to add validity to the information. Just because you knew how to make money doesn't make you an honest person. As a matter of fact, most of the time it means you were doing some highly questionable things and having very unsympathetic, empathetic morals. So as I'm closing in on the coast road again, and I'm looking at the inundation of this area here, for a great big mark of your coast from Port Mac and all that, Lake Cathy and all that, you guys got to get prepared. You're right on that edge line where this tendril could come ashore as well. You'll be very aware of your tide times when this event is going to be going on. So you'll probably wonder when you can expect the event. It's starting now. We've already had some rumblers coming by. You're going to have some heavy totals happen, and there'll be a second event coming. Yeah, the main event. Yeah, don't try to sing too many songs like me, or you'll ruin your ears. That's the sound of supping coffee. Yeah, some very heavy storms coming through tomorrow, your afternoon. Have a big rumbler for lunch, and just in time for the Saturday going homes, have a little more wetness along the road. I imagine those waterfalls are going to be quite a sight over there in Durago, or whatever you call that place. Durango, bada bing bang bong, where the dingoes go. Huh? Where's this water coming from? As we head in through the weekend, again, the coast roads capping it all the way on up through past Bundaberg. That's a long stripe of rain coming. And the West has not, where'd you go, Wes? Has not escaped the eyes of the geoengineers, because the Calgary corridor down through here with the EMF set up down here is going to give a block, and it's going to force this across. You have a lot of dust in the air. I've seen from some of your pictures of the supercells. It's hanging at about the mid-level, for about 30,000 feet or so, being sucked into these storms. So be expecting to see that dust powder rednesses on your car. And it's probably going to be magnetic, because there's a lot of iron in that. So I'm not going to be surprised. Not everything out there is going to be graphene oxide. As a matter of fact, you're going to have to prove it is. Has it oxidized? Is it just carbon nanotube from exhaust of a diesel or an old generator somewhere? So we have to further investigate things. All I know is you can call it pollution, and it's been done by a geoengineering program whipping up a storm. Yep. And that's just free particulates that water can nucleate on. Water droplets can form. So that, in a way, that's part of geoengineering, is using dust as well. So as we head in toward Sunday, the storm is starting to impact the North Island here. As this other tendril's on its way over here, cruising through the Tasman Sea in a Chris to give you round toll. And you see what's right behind it? Whammos. And this is a long sustained setup as the low pressure is parked. It's parked over here. It's going to park, because there's not really much place for it to go. It's right up on that. The only real corridor for its outlet is up or down. And the low dog's down here, so its tendency would be to pinch in that direction. Well, these are pinching that, so each time you get a bloop, 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 bloop. A little more cold air gets sucked in into one layer of the atmosphere, a little more tropic from another, and it's just a continual conditions for very volatile storms, sudden storms. All you have to do is add some catalyst to the atmosphere to change it locally to have a downpour. And what type catalyst do I most often see used? As these bombs. Boom, 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 boom. Create a beam to go this direction or that. You can control the flow or the Venturi effect of this island by flows north or south at the will of the weather machine. The weather machine is electromagnetic frequency. Heaters heat the atmosphere. Catalysts to change from hots to colds, adding the particles, adding the chemicals needed for the microwaves to propagate their waveforms. It's a very complicated thing, but there's one simple thing you could say is no. You have to say no to the geoengineering, because this is absolutely wrong. All right, we're sitting at 16 minutes. It's still going on. And I'm watching like a hawk. There's been some issues with the Facebook Lives. Me actually recording on and checking to see that number, right? And then it's disallowing it at the end of the video. So I'm trying to keep them shorter. So I'm not going to let this one go on too long. I gave you an idea of what's coming, batch after batch after batch. And some wintry mix is going to start to enter to the equation as you head toward winter in the Southlands down here and through here. It's winter time. As another lull begins its influence across Australia here and the end of the tens. This setup here is clearly exactly like it's been this last week. Same setup. Same pensions. So, in all effectiveness, this day here, on the Sunday the 2nd, if I was to read this math, that should dissipate into here. This high pressure should lock over to the top here, and this becomes locked again, so all storms come back through this corridor. And with the pressure being lower, the highs being lower down here, you'll expect the corridor of influence of weather to start doing this shift through here. We've had another split in the flow occur with a beam through here, obviously on this day. So I'll have to watch this very closely. That should shoot that way back under South America. But the rest of this over here should come your way and up toward the Philippines, because of the low up here be dragging. You very effectively got two great big batches of moisture sitting out here that have been cut. So this is going to be an interesting situation with this one headed toward the Arabian Peninsula in Africa, and this one here beginning to, half of it's going to come this way, and the other half's going to come up in here. This flow clearly showing me this. You see the split right there? So I'm watching that very closely. I showed the beams that could have exacerbated your quake that went through this area here that happened 72 hours ago. And I might still be showing. But I might have got that on yesterday's, I'm not sure. So let's see if we can cap it. If we can catch it. Doink. You'll see a sweep come through here. Boom. See that beam coming on there? When it initially came on, it definitely rumbled the mantle of the planet and the atmosphere, kept it quite a lot of undulations and reverberations going on that would have exacerbated the conditions of a quake. It was in an area I didn't see a bunch of mining or anything going on. It's like the middle of nowhere. So right, that's that. What else did I want to show? I didn't want to show any of this. I want to come on here and say, yay, geoengineering is over. I'm going to go out and enjoy whatever Mother Nature has in store for us today. So I'm going to run what they say are the thunder rumblers are going to be. Which one do you want? Accessing them? The thunder and all that's going to follow the Chembombs. You have to watch these deployments here to determine if this over here is going to be accurate. But everybody's saying you got a big line of storms coming across New South Wales here. And you could see Well, just now they're starting to spray up that line right here. See the end of that microwave line right there? She should follow that right in through here. And there's the Sanchez that's going to make it. So we're watching this very closely. You guys get another lightning show. And that's sickness mix in this plume. That's just designed to be sickening, to wick up moisture, propagate waveforms, and fuel storms. A chemtrail going up through Adelaide here. You see the crests. We got to condemn the chem. That's what think we need to do. Condemn the chem. It needs to go. Even the suggestion of it that it will be denied. Well, the X went one direction and then went the other direction, like this, like that, and this, and so one's pretty much just staying in place, and the others are just flowing over the top, toxifying the land, renucleating more bombs as it went along. Chembombs suck. They really, really suck. They suck the oxygen out of the air. They're sucking the future away from the soils. Going to make a very arid land. Well, I got lettuce from a factory. Really. Factory food, factory people. Look at the 1, 2, 3, 4 barbs there. You know, to look at that, you would think that's just microwave popcorns with the angel of death tendrils of Moses coming across the top. And as you look, you'll see the deployment. A chemical catalyst for the waveform. All the way over to Vanuatu even. These are chembombs. This is not just a plane flying over in a path like this one, leaving pollution. These are chembombs. See the chemtrail there? Different type deployments. And it stayed. You know, it didn't just dissipate. It went somewhere and didn't allow sunshine everywhere it went. Everywhere it went, some creature might have been at one moment to get up to the top of the water and have that beautiful kiss of sunshine. A kiss from the soul. But what do they get? They get the soul of the lockstep boot. They get the will of the ass soul. They get the face of geoengineering right in front of them. And with that said and with that done, be you, be free, be oneness. Big love. Peace.